All right.
Greetings.
Looks like we're live.
I think we're back, James. We're live.
All right. All right. I'm on assignment. Under
Yeah,
the
on
weather.
assignment.
On
I think we're gonna run,
assignment
I think
and
we're
under
gonna
the
run a
weather.
commercial. I think we're gonna run a commercial first, James, before we get
Okay.
started. Yeah, give her a moment to bring up the commercial.
All righty.
This is Glenn Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now, I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.
We're back.
All right. Never get tired of that commercial. It's a good one. I like it. I like it.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. James,
Yes,
you
sir.
you not in the studio today. You're on assignment.
Yeah, I'm out of the office, a little under the weather, so I miss being there. Got to say that part, and but God is good, and we're gonna let Him do His thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we hope you feel better
Absolutely.
soon.
How was your week so far?
My week actually it's a very good week and a very busy week.
Okay.
Got some exciting things going on tomorrow, and we've had some exciting things going on all week.
Uh-huh.
So it's been very exciting. We got a lot of good stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
super excited about what we're doing. I'll tell you about this later, James. But I think we have a good fit for the Franklin County
Oh
Correctional.
yeah, our volunteer.
No, not him. I'll tell you about it's another
Oh,
guy
okay. All
that I've
right.
known about for a while. I introduced you to him, but I
Mm-hmm.
just had an hour and a half meet with him, and
Good.
he's on board. And so I talked to Miss Jones, and we got some things set in place. So anyway, I
Wonderful.
was super excited about that.
But well, that team down there is on fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah. They're
they
on
want
fire.
us so bad, and we're working towards solutions for making things happen for those inmates who are incarcerated right now at the Franklin County facility. But yeah, that's great. That's wonderful news.
Yeah, on the 21st of Monday, they got what they call motivation on Monday.
Uh
So they
huh.
want me to come down and speak to the guys on the 24th of June, 21st of June on a Thursday.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll be taking a trip down there then, and we'll talk more about our new facilitators that I think we're gonna bring on board.
Sure. Sure. And you've done some additional speaking engagements too recently.
Oh yes, the Beast has been on tour, man. This past weekend, I don't remember seeing a picture posted, or maybe I missed some. But this past weekend we were down back in St. Paul area where we were at a couple of churches. One
Hmm.
one was a mental health symposium.
Right.
One of the presenters and panel discussion. We talked about recovering from COVID and our kids and how they're doing. So the services for them, and then Sunday morning, I actually had a reverse book signing at a church.
Hmm.
A pastor we just met,
Wow.
and it was really Pastor John Marston. Really did got a good work down in St. Paul, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So we have really enjoyed this this journey of reverse
Yes.
book signing, and actually,
Mhm.
I got one coming up Sunday.
Really?
Actually, it's a local church. Actually, they use our facility for church service.
Oh, okay.
So Pastor
Yeah.
Cheryl is going to be
Okay.
is going to allow us to come in and do a reverse book signing
Yeah.
Sunday morning for their church
Uh-huh.
service.
So you don't have too far to go.
Nope, I don't have too far to go.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're
that's
super
wonderful
excited
news.
about that, and we want to ask our viewers, anytime that you know of a church that want to do a reverse book signing, please call our office at area code 9-919-779-9905. A
Sounds
reverse
great.
book signing is, in case my viewers don't know what it is we don't have the resources to get all these books into these prisons that they need to be in. And so we're asking churches and businesses to donate the books. And the person who donate the book is also, they sign the book. And with not just a signature, but a message of hope in the book.
Yes.
And then we take those books to the inmates. As a matter of fact, James, one of my staff took 30 books today, signed and delivered and sealed. We got these books from St. Paul, North Carolina.
Wow.
Pastor Sean and Reggie McCrimmon
Mm-hmm.
donated. Their church donated 20 books last weekend, and then another church does from the Life Center in the Fayetteville, North Carolina. Pastor Sean and Reggie McCrimmon, they donated 20 books. Their church did.
Yeah.
And then we had another event last weekend, they did 10 books. So we had 30 books that we just took down to Franklin County Correctional Center.
So this isn't going through CLI. It's going directly.
It's going straight to it's a local prison, and we have talked with the staff there. I talked to her today briefly, and she said every single day they've been asking her, when are the books coming? When are the books coming? When are the books coming?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the books are there now because Tommy, the staff member that took him down there, called us and said, I'm here. And so he was waiting for them to let him in, and he was going to take the books.
Yes.
So I'm very super excited about what we're going to be doing in Franklin County, and I couldn't have made it work out no better than it did myself. So I am super excited about that.
A lot of times we like to think that, there's an old adage about being in the car and God is your co-pilot, or, Jesus is your co-pilot. Well, no, we're not driving.
No, we're not driving this.
we riding on this journey.
We riding.
We're not the driver. I'll put it that way.
Yes, we just simply doing what we're supposed to be doing as passengers and being obedient to the pilot. Yeah. And we don't know how always things work out. We just look for effort, and it works out. So we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and now we have a date set, and I'll tell you more about that on June 9th. We're going to actually start the classes.
I'm looking forward.
Inside this correctional center.
Those inmates were really eager.
Yes.
And we know this because we visited there. So
and we saw it firsthand. What their excitement.
Yes.
So we are going to get the book to them. 30 of them already there, and then we're going to start the class on June the 9th.
Cool.
So we'll talk more about that.
Okay.
This kind of happened today, James.
Yeah.
I had to get a chance to update you on, but
that's fine. I'll get caught up.
Just want our viewers to know that we're on the move, and we're getting this stuff into these fathers' hands.
Yeah, I wish I could give you an update on our donated collection total. I can do that probably next week, and then we can post, what our goal was.
Yes.
And if we met it, we'd like to be able to meet it. We're talking about something new, Glenn, and this is brand spanking new, to increase our viewership.
Yes.
And sometimes there's a little incentive involved to make certain things happen. Yes. And so we're looking for our viewers to, we'd like to increase our viewership tenfold if we could. But we've got a bit of a teaser out there for our viewers. If you bring 5 people to watch, they might not have the time to watch the entire live video, but if they can just be on here for 10 minutes, that helps us. And so we want to get one of our viewers who can then get 5 other viewers to participate in our Thursday programming. We'd like to give you $50, so but they would have to say that they were sent here by the person who did the inviting. So once we get those 5 on that particular show, then we'll know, okay, you've met your obligation, we'll meet ours.
Okay, that's somebody's dinner they can make.
Yeah, dinner for 2 almost. Yeah,
Yes,
I know. So we're gonna switch gears. We'll have more on that coming up, but we're gonna switch gears, Glenn, and jump into our subject for today.
yes.
This subject is dear to both our hearts, I think, because we're both grandfathers, and
Yes.
but you asked the question to the guys, and I'm gonna let you take it from there. But you asked the guys, what kind of dad would you like your grandson to have, or something to that effect?
Yes. Yeah. So things I've been doing this for. We did this for a while, and I kind of set the guys up. Let's take the premises. I want to take away this ideal of guys having, is because I didn't have a daddy. I don't know how to be a dad. So I want to go from that premise of you don't get a pass at being a father because you grew up in a household without your dad. You don't get a pass for that. So I want to take away that. And sometimes I get that from the guys is I never had a dad, so maybe I don't know exactly what to do. And I was like, I don't buy that. So you might have to work a little harder, but you know what to do. Yeah. So I came up with this idea a couple of years ago, and we just did it this past Thursday, James.
Right.
Last Thursday. And I asked the question, what kind of father do you want your granddaughter or your grandson to have? What are the characteristics in this father that you want your grandkids to have?
Yeah.
You just had your granddaughter just had it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 years ago, and your grandson is growing up now. What kind of father would you want him to have? What are the characteristics in this father? And so we asked this question. And so these guys, they get to writing. They're not thinking about, I'm asking them the question necessarily about them. They're thinking about their grandchild.
Yep.
Their little girl, little grandgirl baby, little grandboy baby. That's what they're thinking about. And so we're going to, James, we both got a copy. We did this on the blackboard in the office.
Right.
And when we did it, it was so powerful, James, that I took a picture of it.
Absolutely.
You guys can see the picture of it. But I took a picture of it, and we did this morning. We both decided we need to discuss this because we want our viewers to know what we're getting. What are we pouring into these fathers? So when we ask those questions, so by far, so everybody one by one. So we got the good dad. So we got the bad dad.
All right. So hold that thought, Glenn.
Okay.
We're taking a brief pause. I want to welcome all of our viewers from across the planet, and especially here in North Carolina. We welcome you to our Thursday show. I'm not on site today. I'm away, but Mr. Glenn Warren, our founder, is holding it down. I'm James Jackson, your Dean of Students. And I said yours because if you're part of this broadcast, you're part of us. And we want you to continue to join us. I mentioned briefly about our viewers. We want to increase our viewership, and we need your help. So By that, all you need to do is get 5 of your friends to just join on for this brief moment and for our broadcast, and then all they have to do is say, "I was invited by," and whatever your name is, and then once we get those 5 names, we'll give you the credit for it and
Yes.
let you know you were responsible for bringing five wonderful viewers on board, and here's your $50. So,
Great.
Glenn, I'm going to with that. I know you left off saying the good dad and bad dad.
Yes, yes. So we had a column, the good dad first and the bad dad second. So I stand up and I ask the guys, what kind of father would you like your grandkids to have? And they begin to rattle off the answers left and right. I mean, we know one by one. So the first one they said was dedication. They want their grandkids' father to be dedicated. Dedicated to what? Dedicated to being a father, taking responsibility, taking care of their child, but not only that, but also taking care of the child's mom. So it's dedication is dedicated to being a father, dedicated to raising them in the right way. Right. So one guy said dedicated, then the other guy said, all right, somebody else give me another answer. And the other guy said, be respectful. What does that look like as a father? What does being respectful look like? How do you be respectful? How do you teach your kids how to be respectful?
Right.
So those are, Jay, you can chime in and help me.
Yeah.
Words. What does that look like to you? Being respectful.
This was such a fun class, and all of our classes aren't so fun, but this particular one came at the end. This exercise came at the end. It was a lot of fun because we were getting their words, not ours. These are the words that they came up with. And so the next word, Glenn, was trustworthy. Now, I thought that was strange, trustworthy, but trusting
out of somebody's mouth. And, every time they say a word, one person would say it, but everybody's like, yeah.
Right.
All of those 18 guys we had in that class that night was really being trustworthy. So what do trustworthy look mean like? That means you're a man of your word.
Right.
You say something, your word is your bond. So you want your grandkids to be raised by this type of a father, being trustworthy.
And then the next one they said committed.
Committed.
These are strong words.
Strong words.
These are strong words.
Commitment. Commitment to what? Commitment to being there as a provider. Commitment to being there as a supporter. Commitment to being there as to paying your child support if you're not living in a household with the child. If you are, you work together. But if you're not, your commitment to your monthly obligations of child support. Everybody, as we know, is not gonna. There's a lot. You get a lot of people have grandkids and their parents are not married. Right. But the grandfather, the son is still, the parent is still responsible for taking care of the child, even though the child is not living with them.
Absolutely. Another good one that came up was a hardworking father.
Wow. You mean you want this guy to have a job? To be working a full-time job?
Oh, man.
Wow. Yes.
He's got to have a job.
He's got to have a job. So they all agreed. We want him to have a job, man. Providing for my grandson, my granddaughter.
Yeah. I mean, they're thinking like it's down the road. But, these are their words.
Yes,
The next two were loving, and I'm going to group these two together because loving and compassionate.
Yes.
Those are strong words too,
Yeah, I mean, what is, you're loving, you're committed, you're compassionate about taking care of them, about providing for them. You're not abusive. You don't walk around with a tone of hatred and condemnation. You're not condemning them. You don't want your grandson to grow up in an abusive verbal abusive world, a house where
Or
they are,
the,
being abused. So
or the granddaughters.
all the grandbabies, you don't want that to happen.
Mhm.
You don't want
Mhm.
that to happen. So
Yep.
loving and compassionate.
Right. Right.
And
So go ahead.
the
Go.
other one is the big one,
Yes.
honesty.
Wow.
I mean, everybody
Yeah, we
really,
underlined that one.
yeah, we undermined that one. You want that catbird to be honest. I said catbird. You want that guy to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I want the father of my grandkids to be an honest individual, an honest person.
Right.
Yeah, your word is your bond, but you stick by it. You tell the truth. You don't lie. You stand on your integrity.
Yes.
Wow. So and they threw all these words out. Now these
Mhm.
are half these guys in our class grew up without a father,
Right.
but yet they know what they want in a father
Uh-huh.
of their grandson, granddaughter.
And let's see. The last two we had successful.
Successful. And the last one is
Sober.
we stopped them because time the list could have gone on and on and on and
Yes.
on.
Yes.
But we kind of stopped them right there. And the last one was sober.
Yep.
You want this guy not to be walking around doing weed and doing drugs and doing all kind of alcohol and all that stuff. That you want your son to not grow up in an alcoholic home where he's been abused, drugs, and they're exposed to drugs and all that activity. These are words, good words, that we wanted them to say. They said it. We didn't prompt them.
Nope.
I facilitated it. You wrote down every word they said.
Yeah, I did.
So this is the setup right here. Then I said, okay, now that's column over there. We didn't put good, dad, bad there first.
Right, we didn't.
Put the column there.
Right.
And then I said, now tell me what characteristics that you don't want in your grandchild father.
Right.
It'd be a daughter or a son.
And,
both a combination.
And guess what it started off with?
First one.
Drug use.
Drug use.
And that's that was the last one on the first column.
Yes.
But now, in terms of things you don't want your grandson, granddaughter to experience, is a father who's has drug use problem
for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you spoke it up the rent money. Right. The stuff that comes with drugs, again, the abuse, the all that bad stuff that comes with drug use, and again, you take the money out of the house every time you go and buy that weed or that crack or that heroin or whatever you buy.
Yep.
So they don't want him to be a drug user.
Right.
And then the other word is
dishonest. They don't want you to be dishonest.
They want you to be dishonest.
Yeah.
Wow. Being dishonest.
And the next
characteristic of your grandchild father.
Right.
Untruthful.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they want her to be honest.
Well.
And what does the word slacker mean, James?
Somebody who's just not worth who don't want to put 2 cents effort into anything. They start something and then you got to go hunt them down.
Yeah.
Where is the guy who was on this shift? Supposed to be working with you,
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not here.
Where you
somebody who's just not willing to carry the load.
Yes, a slacker. And everybody's agreed with that. I don't want my grandchild to be a slacker.
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody used this big word what we've been talking about so far, abusive.
Oh, boy.
You don't want him to be abusive. You don't want him to be abusive to the mother as well as the kids.
Yes.
Yes. One of the viewers said laziness.
Yeah.
James, welcome to you, James. He said, I don't want my grandson, my grandkids, daddy to be lazy.
Right.
Slacker. Wow.
I like it. I like it.
Another word,
Unmotivated.
unmotivated.
So that means when we wake up, whether we got to go to work or not, we still got the things to do.
Right,
We still need to take care of something.
right.
You know,
Not
and we don't need somebody to call and say, "Did you remember to get up and go, and go take care of your kids?"
exactly right.
It's being motivated can come in all different flavors. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You doing just enough to get by. You come home and you flop that on the couch and that's it. You don't help do this. You don't help do that. You just lazy. You don't clean up.
Mhm.
You don't. So you don't want characteristics. Our kids. Look at what we do. Not always what we say, but what we do, and we don't want them
Mhm.
to be walking around seeing daddy is lazy and he's unmotivated and he's not doing the stuff that he needs to be doing.
Well,
Right.
let's take a quick break just to add. If our viewers want to contribute to this discussion, just type in a word and
Yes.
let it be for either our good dad or I hate to use that word, but a bad dad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll welcome your word. We'll put it out there. So,
Right.
Glenda, looks like the after unmotivated, it came cheater.
Uh-huh.
These are their words.
These are their words.
These are their
You don't
words.
want him to be a cheater.
Mhm.
Cheating on the mom, that's bringing all kind of, stuff that to the family that you don't want him to cheating on the grandkid's mom.
Right.
So that
Right.
word cheater is very important. Somebody thought it was
Mhm.
very important. I want him to be dedicated, committed to not just us, the grandkids, but also to the mom of the grandkids.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Uh, we got just three more. Strung out is the next one.
Yeah, strung out, which is another word for being strung out on drugs.
Drug use. Yep.
Yeah, that consistent drug use.
Mhm.
Every day you're getting high. Every day you're doing some crazy stuff with the money. The money ain't there because you're using it strung out.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the big word,
Yep. Yep. Manipulative.
manipulative.
They came up with that.
They came up with that.
We didn't. These are their answers.
Yes, yes,
These are their
yes.
answers. And I guess certain walks, you gotta. That's what happens. You start manipulating a situation by, um, just not being. A manipulation probably needs a few things. It needs some dishonesty. It needs some uh, a few lies being told, and then there's that other part where I'm in control here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do. You're gonna do
yes,
what I say do.
yes. That control issue. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That passive aggressive
yes,
control issue. Yeah,
yes, yes.
and they're manipulating that. So yeah, that was
Bullying.
their
Yeah. And the last word is deceitful.
deceitful.
Now, James, about halfway down that last list, the light bulb began to come on to the guys.
Yeah.
And then the guy said, "Y'all, this was a setup." You're
Yep.
absolutely right. I
Yep.
just set all of y'all up, and
Hmm.
everybody in this room gave me a definition. Now, there's probably some people in the room that's smarter than the others.
Hmm.
I would say smart, but they probably caught on to it a little quicker than the others, and they
Hmm.
stopped talking because they knew what I was going.
Right.
But by that time, it's too late.
Hmm.
Again, when they say I grew up in a household without my dad, so that's not a pass. We're not going to give you a pass for that. And we told them that night, you don't get a pass for growing up in a house without your dad. By
Right.
saying that's your excuse for being a good dad.
Right.
Absolutely not. That's the furthest thing from the truth. But we don't do that. So
Yeah. And Glenn, I think the other side of that is when you mentioned one of our lessons about what's the difference between a garden and a forest, you know, and and how that combination works.
Yes,
You know?
yes. So, there's a difference. Both of them are going to grow up, though. A garden has been taken care of. A forest just grows up wildly.
Yeah.
But just because, forests is some of the beautiful places in the world.
Yep.
The forest.
Yep.
So just because grew up without your dad doesn't mean all is lost and you can't be successful. Absolutely not.
Right.
So I know, James, we getting close to our end of our time, but this was to me a very exciting class. We do a lot of classes to get participation, and the guys really.
Oh, we might have some connectivity issues. Glenn, I don't hear your voice. I'm seeing you, but I don't hear you. But if we're still live, I'm just going to say to our viewers that we strongly want you to consider working with us. Definitely view our programming, and then also be able to share this broadcast with your friends. Share it with, your friends on Facebook. If you do that, like us, and then on YouTube, if you subscribe there, hit this. Well, you subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep track of when we're on air. But I can tell you, we're going to be on every Thursday at 2:05. So we look forward to our viewers. Any last words? I'm just waiting to see if Glenn will jump back in. I know how networks get sometime, and we don't have control over whether it's whoever our provider is. I know who it is, but whoever the provider is, sometimes we can't do it. But what we'll do is go ahead and say goodbye to our friends. Thanks for joining us. We really miss. I do miss being in the office today, Glenn, but we will be back in the saddle next week. So in the meantime, we're going to sign off, and I think we'll let one of our commercials play. So be safe, and we look forward to seeing everybody, talking to everybody next week. Bye-bye.